In this quick lesson, we are going to discuss ways to save money on your textbooks. We will also discuss things to look out for when trying to save money on your textbooks. According to a 2017-2018 estimate by the College Board, the average full-time student's annual spending on textbooks and related supplies are $1,420 at public two-year colleges, in other words, community colleges, $1,250 at four-year public colleges, no matter if you are an in-state or out-of-state student, and $1,220 at private, nonprofit four-year colleges. In other words, you're going to spend about $1,200 per year on textbooks and related supplies, no matter what type of college you attend. Based on my conversations with students, that sounds about right. If you're a high school student, this can sound shocking. After all, most high schools provide you with the textbooks for free. In a moment, I'm going to share some ways to save on textbooks. But before we discuss that, I need to give you a warning. Many professors require you purchase a special code to go with your textbook. That code lets you access the publisher's learning platform. I'll describe that in a moment. The thing to realize is that this code may reduce or even eliminate your ability to save money on your textbook. Additionally, you may not have any choice at all about buying the code. So, let's learn more about this code first. For my Operations Management course, when the students go to the campus bookstore, they pay $90 and receive the card you see on the screen. This is not a textbook, just a single piece of heavy cardstock paper. The back has an individual scratch-off area that the student uses to get their access code. This code allows the students to access the McGraw-Hill learning platform called Connect. In Connect, the student has access to an e-book. This is an online textbook. As the student reads the textbook, Connect asks them questions about what they are reading. It helps track how they perform and gives them a grade on their reading. There are also quizzes over the concepts in each chapter. There's also customized homework problems. This is a highly quantitative course, so there are lots of problems. Connect randomly generates the numbers for these problems to minimize cheating. For this course, these assignments count 40% of the grade. So, the student cannot possibly pass the course without access to Connect. While I am familiar with Connect from McGraw-Hill, other publishers offer similar systems. This approach to textbooks has a number of advantages. They include: this approach can be significantly cheaper than a printed textbook. We are a large college with a lot of students taking this course each semester. We negotiated a $90 price with McGraw-Hill. That's not a bad price. When I looked online, a hardback copy of the textbook cost $272 new. So, the student saves over $180. As you read the book and work the homework, the Connect software will give you immediate feedback on your work. There are also some drawbacks. They include: it can be more expensive. If the ebook is not included with the code, then you have to buy the expensive textbook and then buy the code. The codes alone tend to sell in the $100 range. With a printed textbook, when you are done, you can sell it in the used textbook market. In fact, most college bookstores actively buy back textbooks at the end of the semester. They don't pay much, but something's better than nothing. Your code will be tied to you specifically. Someone else cannot rework the assignments. Plus, the code will expire soon after the semester is over. This can be particularly frustrating if you fail a course and have to retake it. By the way, if that does happen to you, call the publisher and see if they will extend the code for you. You have nothing to lose by trying, and I've had students who succeeded. Rather than selling and buying back textbooks, some bookstores and online services have started to offer textbook rental. You pay a fee just to use the textbook for the semester and return it at the end of the semester. You simply cannot rent a code for the reasons we have already discussed. As we've already discussed, you cannot reuse the code if you fail the course unless you get the publisher to let you. For the same reason, you cannot use the ebook as a reference in later courses. In spite of these very real drawbacks, I feel that this approach to textbooks can be very beneficial to students. I have taught both with a traditional textbook and Connect, and the students perform better with all the tools Connect gives them to learn the material. Assuming you are not constrained by the access code, or you will be buying your textbook separately from the code, there are a number of ways you can save on your textbooks. I will go over these from the ways that save you the most money to ways that save you less money. Buying a prior edition. Textbooks get new editions every few years. In my experience, it averages every 3 years, but that's just an average. Oftentimes, not much changes edition to edition. This is especially true in subjects where you do not need to keep up to date, like math or English. It is very much not the case in fast-changing subjects like computer science and some sciences. For the $272 new Operations Management textbook I mentioned earlier, I went online and searched for the prior edition. The cheapest I found it for was $12. Of course, if the problems change, you will need to find a way to get the up-to-date problems. Perhaps another student in the class will briefly share their textbook with you. The savings can be even more dramatic. I was talking to one of my students. He was taking a tax course, and the textbook cost more than $400 new. He had one edition earlier, and he said it was so cheap that he paid more for the shipping than he had paid for the textbook itself. You will likely not find prior editions at the campus bookstore, so the internet is the place to look. Just make sure the shipper can get it to you in time for the classes to start. That comment holds for all online purchases. Oftentimes, a publisher will publish a cheaper version of the textbook for the overseas market. The ones I've seen have been black and white with just a heavy cardstock cover. Otherwise, they were identical to the U.S. version. Your campus bookstore will not have these either, so you'll have to depend on the internet. Used textbooks are often an excellent buy. Even the expensive ones at the campus bookstore can cost half as much as new ones. When I was in college, well before the internet, I purchased all my textbooks used. If you know someone in the class, perhaps the two of you can share one textbook. That cuts each of your costs in half. Of course, if there's a code, you will each need your own code. If the campus bookstore offers textbook rentals, they can save you money over new textbooks. I am also starting to see online stores doing textbook rentals. Finally, if you do have a code with an ebook, oftentimes the publisher will sell you a binder version of the textbook directly at a low cost. A binder version is where the pages are printed on 3-hole punch paper and put into a binder. McGraw-Hill sells a binder version of the textbook for my course for an additional $70, well below the full cost of $270. So there you have my suggestions on how to save money on textbooks. Once you get into college, talk to your fellow students. They will likely have other suggestions.